House to Home, presented by REMAX Diamond Realty.
Half a day, everybody. Biba mes tomorrow. It is Chamorro month, and we celebrate our culture. And part of our culture has always been providing wonderful places of hospitality, wonderful places to live, and that's what we do here on House to Home. Gina is not with us today; she is on assignment. So we have Liz, as always, joining us from her Hagåtña office, and we have Joni Cruz Canata, who specializes in property management. She is an expert on the topic, and she is with Remax Diamond Realty. Ladies, half a day.
Half a day, Jason.
Okay,
Please.
Liz, we've mentioned the term property management a cajillion times in the decade that we've been doing this show and everything. And Joni, we are so happy to have you here to actually shine light on exactly what this is and the scope of services that are under that very, very important aspect of real estate. So good to have you.
Yes, thank you. Well, we wanted to have Joni come on the show to talk about what services we provide. And usually people, there are two parts of let's say, for example, renting property. So the two parts are, as an agent, we list the property, we place it on the market, we work on showing the property to get the property rented. And if an individual chooses to have their property management, we have that service with Remax Diamond Realty. And then once we place the tenant, we turn it over to the property manager. So property management, again, two separate aspects of the real estate. One is the listing agent handling, placing the property on the market, marketing it, getting it rented. And then the other aspect is the logistics in taking care of that property. And there are two types of property managements we handle. We do handle single family homes, condos, and then we do handle HOAs, homeowners association. And our staff is dedicated to do this type of work. We don't allow any of our agents to handle property management because we're busy with the real estate market, that management takes up a lot of time and effort, and rather time consuming because they're working with vendors to get the job done in terms of repairs and maintenance. Anyway, let me have Joni talk about what they do.
Okay, and real quick, Joni, like I'm so happy to have you here again on the show because every person that specializes in property management that I know in the 10 years we've been doing this show, I can never get them on the phone because they're always talking on the phone because something's always going on.
Yes,
Yeah,
every
so
day.
what are the most common functions that you facilitate?
So we're basically the liaison between the owner and the tenant. We basically take care of the day-to-day operations of the property. In the event there's issues, at the property, it's our job to ensure we facilitate any contractors that need to go out to provide quotes for our owners to review. And then, of course, always communicating is a big aspect of the job between owners and tenants. So, yeah, it's quite a lot of work, but it's very beneficial, especially for homeowners who live abroad. We always try to recommend that we have they seek out a property manager. That way, we're their eyes and ears here, back home. So, it's a great opportunity to have a property manager. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know that one thing about property managers is you guys, I mean, you guys are amazing. You're super professionals at what you do. You are, masters of many disciplines because again, you have to know things about the yard, about the roof, about the structure of the house, about the interior, about the exterior. But where you guys truly earn your angel wings, I believe, is the day after a typhoon. I know you
Oh,
guys are super busy. Tell me about that.
big time. But before she explains that aspect of it, what they do is they really do the dirty work of the property management, where they would run to get your business license.
Right.
They coordinate stuff to go with all the different inspections, like the fire department, public
Yeah.
works. These are all components of them getting the business license together. So that's one big step in order to handle the property management. And then the other thing goes to hiring the vendors to do repairs,
Yeah.
doing the taking care of the tenant,
Getting-
move-in inspection,
Yeah. Comparative
comparative
quotes,
quotes.
for owners to review. So that's another thing is we're very familiar with what the market is right now in terms of the labor costs. So that's a big factor in what we do. So that's also a benefit, to the owners as well.
Okay, so did you slide into this position right now, having done property management before, or did you kind of like transition laterally from another role like within Remax?
Transitioned laterally. I've been here at Remax for a very long time.
Well, tell them that you've been with
Yeah,
us.
so I'll be 20 years this month, which
Congratulations!
thank you.
You got
Yes,
20 years with the Remax, we got 10 years with the show. We got to have a party one of these days.
we should. Yeah, it's been an amazing opportunity. I've learned a lot. I started, at the way bottom, and of course, with the grace of Liz and Gina, they've groomed me to where I needed to be, and now I'm proud to say that I think we do a fantastic job. At least we do try our best. So
Absolutely. How is,
it's great.
so how has doing all aspects of, let's call it the real estate pipeline, right? The framework. How has it helped you better understand like the business and ultimately deliver, optimal service to your clients?
Well, a lot of it is getting to study the lease agreement. That's a big thing too, because as property managers, we have to enforce the terms of that lease. So learning how to read the lease and the terms of it has also been very beneficial. And then of course learning our customers and who they are and what working with them throughout the years and what they expect as a customer, that's also very beneficial.
And that's
Go
really,
into
really that's really educational for me because I always knew you understand the structural side and deal with the structural side of a property. I had no idea you guys were like involved with like the agreements and like and everything like that. So you're literally and figuratively like involved with managing the property. That's amazing.
yeah,
Yes.
go into explaining what you do. You wanted to know what happens after a storm or a typhoon.
Oh,
Okay,
we
yeah,
we
the morning after you guys are out on the road putting on the raincoat and jamming.
Yes, the once we're cleared to get back on the road, we're already out there with our raincoats, our rain boots, and we're checking our properties because we understand a lot of the owners that live abroad are worried. They need updates. They want to know what's going on, and it's our job to ensure that their what is it?
Your
Their
interest, yes.
yeah is taken care of, and there's no issues. And if there is, then we take the proactive measures to ensure that the property is going to be in good condition.
And I know, like many industries here, it's better to do the job right than to do the job fast. But then at the same time, you probably got all of your tenants, all of your owners all calling you saying,
Oh yeah.
what's going on with my property? So how do you actually try and, site survey as many properties as you can after like, a natural disaster?
So we have a team of 6 property managers, and what we like to do is we basically work together. Like we spread out. We try to work more efficiently, and in getting things done. So a lot of times it's just a lot of teamwork, and then we prioritize. What's the biggest, the most important thing we need to get done versus okay that can wait a couple days because a lot of the other issues is the contractors, they're not always available when we call. So a lot of it's just prioritizing.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can imagine the work even before the
Yeah.
storm.
Because we also
That's a
prepare
good
for the,
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we try to take the proactive measures as well when we know that there's a storm coming or whatever disasters are coming our way.
Now,
So
again, something, Joni, that I didn't realize was that Liz was mentioning that you guys also do like condos, and maybe in its best case, a condominium on Guam would be maybe 2 or 3 stories, maybe
right.
even more challenging. Something like we've been to Villa Cantantasi and done our show from there several times. Liz's place on the 8th floor, 80 feet up, from sea level and everything like that. What are some of the challenges about trying to do your job with the structural integrity of a property like in a high rise?
Well, with situations like that, thankfully there's a lot of property managers for the HOAs, homeowners association is what they're called. And they basically we would work together with them in terms of preparing the property. We just want to always ensure that the shutters are closed and sometimes a lot of the properties are vacant. So our team would go out and secure the shutters and do the best we can just to ensure that it's safe and sound. But other than that, it's just a lot of working together.
Mm. What are the most common concerns that you get, like when your email's going crazy, when your phone is ringing off the hook and everything like that? What are some of the most common requests from people, whether they're first time customers or they've been with Remax for years and years and years about property management?
Well, a lot of it is a lot of you're talking in terms of the homeowners, like
Hmm.
what their concerns are. Well, a lot of it is they just want updates of their property, how are their tenants doing? But like I said earlier, our job is to also enforce the terms of the lease. So sometimes, and we understand a lot of families sometimes aren't able to, make their rent payment on its due date. But it's our job to also, remind them, hey, you got to pay your rent. So a lot of it's just a lot of communication. And we've learned that the more we communicate with our owners, the better that they feel at ease and they don't really call with so much concerns, which is a plus because there's a lot of things happening back home too.
See, I
So
didn't realize that. I didn't realize that Liz makes you be the traffic cop.
yeah, yes,
Yeah, usually
that is
when
good.
I get a complaint or something, I don't just respond. I'd have to get the property manager's feedback. What is going on or what is
Yes,
the story? So every time the property management send out emails, they CC me or Gina or whoever the agent is that's representing that property so that we're all on the same page.
right,
And that way, all the communication regarding a vendor quote or issues that arise with the unit, we're all on the same page because we work together as a team
hmm,
and we all need to be aware of what are the facts involving any issue involving the property. The other thing I want to bring up is we do have an online website that our accounting will post any incoming funds that are received, funds
right,
that go out, vendors that are paid. It's a website that the owners, no matter where in the world they're at, they can look into the site and say, oh, this is what's happening. This is what I have in my account. This is what was paid. Of
right,
course, before anything is done, there are parameters in terms of expenses. So there might be a budget for the property manager. If there's a plumbing issue, you only can spend up to $300. Anything above that, you have to get the owner's approval. And the website shows the incoming funds, outgoing funds.
right.
So it's a really easy way to stay in touch with the owners, regardless of whether they're on Guam or whether they're abroad.
So, Joni, it's a very delicate dance that you've become a master of.
It's a lot to learn. Yes,
Yeah.
It's
yes.
okay. Property management is not as easy as the cha-cha or the electric slide, I would say, if we put it in those terms.
It's challenging. It's also rewarding. So and our team, we have a great team. They've been with us for a few years. So, that's always a plus, having people who are already well versed in the position. So that's also a blessing.
I've
Okay,
got
so
to
if
say, no, I've got to say though, the role of a property manager isn't easy because they're in, they're out, they're with vendors, they're inspecting property, they're doing move-ins, they're doing exit inspection. Bear in mind, whenever there's a move-in, they document with photos. How does the property look? What are the deficiencies? And then when the party exits, the tenant exits, they do another inspection to make sure the property is intact. And if there are any deficiencies after the initial move in,
Mhm.
then those are notated. And of course, deductions are made from the security deposit based on the condition of the property. So I mean, they're like multitasking with all kinds of stuff. It's not an easy
It's
task. It's
not.
not an easy job. And I have to say, we're proud of our team. And some of
Yes.
them are 15, 20 years. Some of them are 5 years with us, but they've hung in and have done a great job.
very
Yes.
nice. How rewarding is this work, Joni?
Actually I've been here this long. Well, I've been in property management for 10 years now, and a lot of it, there's more pros than there is cons. Yes, it's a lot, it's very demanding, the job itself. But when you're able to move in a family into, their home, or, you're able to help a tenant, in their time of need, and then an owner's happy because, his investment's taken care of, it just comes full circle. So it's great.
What are some of the characteristics if someone would like to pursue like this work and say like, I've watched your show, I find it really, really interesting. I think I might want to do that, but I don't know if I'm cut out to be an agent or a surveyor isn't exactly like, like my thing or something about this episode just said like I would make a good property manager. What types of personalities are drawn to this and what skills should they have?
For me, I think a lot of it is you have to have a really strong backbone. You can have the heart of gold, but at the end of the day, when you have to make some tough decisions and some tough calls, you have to have a strong backbone. You got to always just remind yourself that it's the job, and take that with you, and then always be humble with what we have in front of us and work with it. Yeah.
I've never seen a Chamarita who doesn't have like the strongest backbone in the world. So no worries there. Okay,
Yeah.
now here's a question, both maybe Liz and Joni, if you can address this. We've stated before that there is a shortage of professional surveyors on the island and everything. We know about the military buildup. We know about the expansion that's going to ensue there. Do we have enough property managers on the island right now for to get a pretty good fair distribution of all the work that is happening at the moment and that is going to happen down the road?
I think we do have enough because every office on this island, a real estate office, you cannot do property management unless you have a broker above, the umbrella, supervising property management. So some offices choose to do property management and some offices do not, or some are limited with the capacity of how they manage. I mean, I know we have over 200 properties that we manage, and then on top of that we have HOAs that we manage.
Right.
So one of the reason we don't allow our agents, it's a heavy task to be a property manager and to be an agent, because I know some offices allow their agents to manage property. We don't, because you need someone dedicated, knowing that there's so much to do in this role as a property manager. So we don't allow our agents to do that. It's strictly dedicated property managers to handle it. So in terms of the island, right now, there are a few who also do property management, but not all of them handle it. Again, it's a heavy task, and I'm proud of our team because they do a great job. But again, the point she made is really key. The communication between the agents, the property manager, and the homeowner, it really it's effective in terms of getting the job done. The communication is clean and clear. So as a result, any issues that crop up are really low, or the issues that crop up are small.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you said, Joni, and you made the point very, very effectively, I thought, is humility is a virtue that you have to have, but you also do your job, obviously, with a lot of grace and class. And you and the people that do the kind of work that you do are absolute rock stars in this industry. So thank you for what you do.
I wish we had all our team lined up so you can meet all of them.
Yeah.
We'll get them all on the show because they're all amazing people in this community too.
Visit and interview with them and chat with them.
I'm going to free up space on my phone so I can take pictures of each and every one of you.
Okay, that's
all right. So,
idea.
Joni, thank you so much for some of your time. And now I know you're going to go jam on something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you got work.
Yes.
All right, Liz, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.